One of the most favorite things I used to do when I lived in Paris is visit all the Parisian flower shops and watch them make beautiful hand-tied arrangements. So today, for the Secrets of the Hostess Garden series, we are going to create one of these. So I think this will be such a wonderful tutorial. It was one of my favorite things to watch. And I thought what we would do is just kind of show the process from start to finish. So in French, they say mise en place. And what that means is everything in its place. So what I like to do is always get my ingredients out. And I think it's very important because if it's in buckets and they're not trimmed and they're not ready to go, it's just gonna take you a lot longer. So mise en place, it's just a really good trick to do and have all your things in place. So I just wanna go through what I did here. I stripped most of my greens just so, again, I would have that stem to hold on to. The other thing I did is I picked from my garden last night. So I have some really cute things that I brought in from my garden. These gorgeous hydrangeas are starting to patina. I think they have a really gorgeous center with the light blue and a little bit green tinge. So all you folks that live in New England, especially down in the islands, you'll see all the gorgeous hydrangeas. Go pick them, but make sure you have a little bucket of water next to you. So we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna start with my greenery. I'm gonna name some of these things too. I got these from my garden. This is smoke bush. So what I like to do is I always like to hold it with my 2 fingers. Sometimes when you're holding it really tight, you're gonna have that really tight look, which is fine, but I like the more loose, airy ones that I learned in France. So we're gonna start with greenery in the center. Now you wanna have like a spiral look to it. So every time I start adding more greens and more flowers, a good note is to have it come in at an angle, almost like it taps your shoulder, it goes in at that diagonal. And then once I get that in, I twist. And I probably would say just like a quarter turn. And again, you wanna grab, I think I'll grab a Hydrangeas, also from my garden, also almost at my shoulder, and then go in, and then you're going to twist again. That way you're gonna get a 3-dimensional, you're not gonna get a flat type of arrangement. So maybe we'll even start doing some flowers. These are lace cap hydrangeas. These are also patinaing a little bit and they have like a pink hue. I think they're so pretty. Be careful, bees love them. I had to go in a swarm of bees to get these, but they were so worth it. So again, at my shoulder and then go in and then you want to twist. Now remember, I'm still holding right at that center point. If you feel like it's just too hard to hold all this in your hand, sometimes I just keep an elastic band or a pipe cleaner next to me and I make sure that I tie it up as I go, just so it doesn't loose and fall apart. So as you can see, I'm just doing mostly my greens and just turning and tapping. So tapping my shoulder, going in. This is beautiful sedum. This also starts out green, but will patina. So we're gonna turn it 3/4 turn. And I know what you're thinking, why isn't she adding any flowers yet? You want your base. You wanna get started with just a nice kind of shape first. So if you start putting all the flowers in, it's gonna get very bunchy. All right, so when I lived in Paris, I would go to the flower shops and just sit there and be mesmerized. I'm a daughter of a floral designer, so you can only imagine going to France, and I would call my mom and be like, you should see how they do these beautiful arrangements. And they're almost like pieces of art. They take their time, they really look at the balance, the color, all the textures they put in. So I just love that kind of style. All right, I think we're gonna start adding some hydrangeas. Ah, these are so gorgeous. I can't stand it, I love them. So again, I'm gonna tap, and then it's getting a little big now, but that's okay. I've got my shape, I'm really actually excited about that. Okay, so I think, you know, you gotta look at your arrangement, you gotta see where it's lacking some little interest. Oh, these I got in the woods behind my house, and this is called pokeberry. I don't know, I guess it's a weed, but I think it's really charming. Just be careful, you don't wanna get into any poison ivy because there was lots of poison ivy near it, so I had to be super careful. But again, I'm still doing my spiral, and see how it's really coming together and really having that loose, airy shape to it. So we will add, I think, another smoke bush here. And again, my 2 fingers are still right at the neck of the bouquet. So we're gonna start adding our flowers, and this is like my favorite part. These are a few flowers that I did get from the shop. So not everything is from my garden. This is something called Blushing Bride. I think it has a beautiful texture. It has a lot of like little striations of pink and beige, and I really love that. So we're gonna add a few of these in. Now I'm starting to go in the top to add like that extra little oomph on the top, because you know, you want to definitely add interest. Okay, here we go, I love that. Maybe, and I'm not twisting as much now because I really have my shape, which I love. Oh, look at these garden roses. Sometimes I do blow on them just to get them open. So we're wrapping this up, which is really coming along nicely. I think I might just add a little bit more green to a few areas, and we have to add a few of these globe thistles from my garden. So again, I'm going in diagonally and just poking a few here and there. So what I love about French design, it's not fussy, it's not formal. It doesn't have to have this like perfect, you know, ball shaped. It can be kind of loose and airy. This is Nigella, also grown locally from one of our flower farmers. But if you're wondering where to get some of these flowers too, visit your local farmer's market. You can definitely get a lot of this there too. There's some amazing flower farmers out there who have beautiful, beautiful flowers. All right, so we're gonna add our finishing touches, and then I'm gonna show you how to wrap. Okay, as they say in French, c'est fini. We have finished our bouquet. I like to always tie my bouquets off with a pipe cleaner. You can use an elastic band, you can use wire, whatever makes sense to you, and that you can hold your bouquet together. So I'm just gonna tie it, and I'm just gonna do a twist. I like to use the green because it does hide, doesn't look, you know, like you have like a big bright color there. So I guess you could use hot pink if you want. But what I like about this is when you untie it, whoever does receive it, the bouquet doesn't fall apart. They can actually just take it and plop it right into a vase, which I love. Okay, so one of the things I love the most when I was in France is the way they used to wrap their bouquets. If you go to the grocery store and they would just have those really kind of pre-made sleeves, and they're just, you know, they're just okay. And we do use them if we have to, but I actually like this a little bit more. I got baker's wrap, which is the craft paper, and then we lined it with a little piece of cellophane. And what we did is we actually folded it almost like two mountains. So I will try to do a visual. And you want to place your bouquet right in the center, and then you swaddle it like a baby. So you swaddle one side, and then you swaddle the other side. Here at the shop, we actually have beautiful stickers, so we use that to secure it, but you can use tape, or you can design your own. And of course have to finish it off with some gorgeous ribbon. You are finished. You have a gorgeous hand-tied bouquet. I hope you enjoyed this series. Please follow along. Give us any suggestions for future videos. But thank you again, Secrets of the Hostess. It's been an absolute pleasure.